That's a lot of dough, which this factory processes. It goes through a bunch of different steps and then ends up in a rolled up circular shape, which is cut out into these dough balls. Afterwards, when they're baked, it looks like this. These are gold leaf sheets and they're being cut down into perfect rectangles. They're cutting them down so perfectly using this wooden tool, and they have to be handled very delicately because they're so thin. These are now ready for food. These two frosted up after they were left outside during a cold night. So before this guy starts work, he has to clean them off by scraping down all the frost. Would you want to do this job? This is caramel fudge squares and they made a bunch of them to sell. However, the one thing that looks confusing to me is that the mold they were made in also looks edible. It looks like chocolate. This machine picks up 100 glass bottles at a time. I'm still not completely sure how it works, but I think it uses a magnet or some sort of suction. How is this possible? These colored beads turn into flip-flops. All they have to do is fill up all of the molds using the colored beads. Once full, they press it using this heated tool, and with the heat it expands out, and the flip-flops are ready to buy. This guy is a bamboo harvester, and they take the cut up pieces of bamboo and then shred it through this wire cutter. They put large pieces and then just apply pressure from the top, breaking them down into smaller sticks. Would you do this job? This person thought it's a good idea to pour a full cup of bubbles into a full cup of the tea that is known as bubble tea inside of their car. They're gonna have to clean all of this up. This guy is pumping concrete into the hollow space next to the door's frame. I'm not sure how this is gonna work out because the concrete's moisture and wood do not always mix. What are your thoughts? This watermelon peeler cost about $30,000. It's completely automated, so once you enter a watermelon into the machine, it peels off the green outer layer and then it even slices it into watermelon slices. Subscribe. This guy pulled out a couch from his pocket. He was waiting for the train when he got tired of standing, so he takes this out of his pocket, fills it up with the air, closes it, puts it down, and sits down. This guy's wearing a mask because this powder is really dangerous. They have to dip all of these different metal objects into it because it provides an electrostatic coating. Now I have no clue what that means, so you can look it up. This machine is producing these green long strings. This can either be pasta or it can be candy. And no, it's not a watermelon. Let me know in the comments which one you think it is. This is how PVC pipes are made. This blue plastic is heated up so that it can turn into the round shape of a PVC pipe. Afterwards, it's fed into this machine, simultaneously cooling it using water. And then you get a finished pipe which you can crush using it. They're cutting giant pieces of clay to then be used in terracotta production. It's a semi-automated process using a bunch of machines that instantly cut the clay into the shape of the terracotta, which actually means baked earth. This recycling machine rejected this bottle. Why? Because he crushed it up. There's cameras in the machine that don't allow it to accept crushed bottles, so he had to make sure the bottle was back to its original state, and then you can see the machine accepts it. This is how juice pouches are made. It requires a machine which holds the pouch to a specific length while the nozzle fills up the juice. Essentially, this is Capri Sun unbranded. This is frosting, and after watching this, you probably want to eat some cake. The reason for this is because your brain thinks the food is actually in front of you, so it prepares your body to eat it. Are you hungry? This is the fastest way to de-snow your car after a storm. All you need is a Bluetooth leaf blower, and you can just blow the snow right off right before you have to go to work. Pretty easy. This is how they fake the lines on wooden furniture. Yep, they're actually not real at all. They're painted on using this tool. Even the middle pattern is painted on using the same tool. These noodles are being cut fresh from this dough. The dough is layered into over 100 different layers, so each cut yields a bunch of different noodles. This wall is made up of iPhones entirely. This is one of the gates at this person's house. I don't know if they're the CEO of Samsung, but this is expensive. Also, getting Amber Alerts would wake up the whole neighborhood. This is an automatic card dealer. You just have to set it up by inputting the number of players and the number of cards to give. It rotates around perfectly, distributing the cards. Would you buy this?